The Lord of the Rings television series, which has been eagerly anticipated for a very long time, is now in its final countdown before its debut. Now, the people who go to Comic-Con on a regular basis have some speculations about the program. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about the ways in which fans of Rings of Power are blown away by the program, and we're going to analyze those methods in more detail. Let's dig into the overview of the fans at Comic-Con regarding the series Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. We were looking for a massive Tolkienian super epic. That's how showrunner Patrick McKay defined his objective for the Rings of Power. Amazon Prime's highly anticipated Lord of the Rings TV spin-off. When he debuted a new teaser and previously unseen footage on Thursday at San Diego Comic-Con, a vast cast of lovely elves, a rare female dwarf, the Hobbits' forebears, a truly outstanding CGI metropolis, a mysterious danger, an Entwife, and a surprise Balrog are all in his arsenal. The Rings of Power is the most expensive program ever filmed, costing $1 billion, 832 million pounds, for 5 seasons, and this is the greatest way for fans to predict how it will look, sound, and feel. But the main question is whether it can compete with Peter Jackson's beloved Lord of the Rings film trilogy, winner of 17 Oscars, standard for composers, and popularizer of Second Breakfast. It wisely avoids attempting, instead situating the action 4,000 years before Frodo and Sam's trek across Middle-earth. This is the Second Age, when the 20 Rings of Power are fashioned and the terrible Lord of Mordor, Sauron, comes to threaten the land's hard-won peace. Moving on. The set of the Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. The primary material is Tolkien's appendices to the Lord of the Rings volumes. The central issue is, how deep into the darkness would you travel to safeguard what is most important to you? J.D. Payne, McKay's partner showrunner, agrees. It's a mix of new characters, some of whom are unique to the show, and old favorites in younger form, like as the immortal elves Galadriel and Elrond, Morfydd Clark and Robert Aramayo, who are shown enjoying a passionate moment in one exclusive clip shown at Comic-Con. Another evocative sequence saw Elrond and the Dwarf King Durin IV, Owain Arthur, attempting to break rocks in a high-stakes strength test, and orcs, the blighted species who comprise Sauron's army in Tolkien's tales, fought with the elf Arondir, Ismael Cruz Cordova, as he fought his way out of slavery. More than 20 cast members took the stage to provide characters' insights, including Clark, who referred to Cate Blanchett's Galadriel in Jackson's films. "I wanted to highlight how Galadriel's tranquility in the movies is earned," she explains. Arthur found a connection with the mind-dwelling dwarf since his family had worked in a Welsh slate quarry, but the physical change into Durin was difficult. 3 hours every day and 45 minutes to take it all off. Following that, what is the backstory of scenes concerning the elves' characters? The scarcity of female dwarves in cinema Tolkien has also been addressed, much to the pleasure of Sofia Nomvete, who portrays the dwarven princess Disa of Khazad Dûm. "I have the honor of hosting that revolutionary moment," she exclaimed, before revealing that she auditioned for the part when I was 2 days away from giving birth, and then I received the call to say, "You would be carrying the torch for this amazing character." When my daughter was 5 days old, her Princess Disa costume was created so she could nurse her weeks-old infant between shoots. However, although the Rings of Power enjoys venturing into a new terrain, it still respects the traditional Tolkien narrative. At a media roundtable, several performers impersonating elves informed the BBC that they had worked with a specialist to perfect the pronunciation of Elvish languages. "When you see any Elvish, you kind of grasp what the Professor Tolkien language was so essential to him," Elrond actor Robert Aramayo stated. "The most fascinating part for me was learning to write it," exclaims Charles Edward, who portrays Celebrimbor, the elf smith who forges the Rings of Power. "I took to it like a fish to water, I must say," laughs Ismael Cruz Cordova, a Puerto Rican. "It has a lot of vowel sounds in common with Spanish." Arondir, the elf character in Cruz Cordova, has a forbidden love with human healer Brolin, Nazanin Boniati, who is also the mother of a slightly unruly teenage boy, as she defines it. Boniati, on the other hand, praises Brolin for being a well-rounded person in her own manner. "Every female character has such autonomy," she explains. "We do not serve guys." Moving on. What are the additional aspects in the Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power? Musically, we may anticipate more of Jackson's signature booming drumming and choir chanting. Bear McCreary, who directed a live orchestra and a choir at the panel event, said he wanted to honor the original soundtrack, which was composed by Howard Shore, who also composes the series' theme song. Stephen Colbert, the panel's presenter and a huge Tolkien aficionado, informed the audience that he had read the Lord of the Rings trilogy more than 50 times. While many may question how he found time, it demonstrates the depth of passion that this mythology evokes in supporters. Can the Rings of Power please them while also making sense to viewers who are discovering the narrative for the first time? Judge for yourself when the program premieres in September of 2022. But for now, the signals are promising. Next up, when will the series Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power premiere? Do you want to know when the program will officially premiere? Don't search any further, because we've got you covered. The Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power will launch on Amazon on September 2nd, 2022. The series will be accessible in over 240 countries on Amazon Prime Video. At the Television Critics Association 2022 Winter Press Conference, Amazon stated that the series' first season will consist of 8 episodes. The duration of each episode has not yet been revealed. It will function as a forerunner according to Amazon. The television series will be set set in the Second Age of Middle-earth. The Second Age lasted 3,441 years and ended with the defeat of the Dark Lord Sauron, the antagonist of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Following that, filming of the Lord of the Rings Rings of Power. In February of 2020, shooting on the Lord of the Rings of Power began in New Zealand. Operations were paused in mid-March due to the COVID-19 outbreak. The project was ultimately given the go-light to begin production, but it was put on hold. The production of the play will resume in September of 2020. J.A. Bayona, who directed the first 2 episodes of the series, said that he expects to finish production in December of 2020. Wayne Shayip said that he would helm 4 episodes in March of 2021. With production already underway, Charlotte Brandstrom has also been named the director of 2 episodes scheduled to broadcast in May of 2021. On the sets, a number of stunt-related injuries were recorded. Amazon reportedly said that the rumors of serious injuries on set are completely unfounded. According to the most recent speculations, the show is currently filming its first season, and it is unclear how long it will take to finish production. I don't know how long the production process would take, Benjamin Walker told Collider. Things are a bit fuzzy right now, he said. We've been here a long time, and they'll let us leave when they're done with us. Season 1 finished in August of 2021, and the second season will be produced in the United Kingdom rather than New Zealand. Finally, Lord of the Rings Rings of Power, the creative team. It originates from the heavyweights in fantasy and science fiction. J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay, who previously worked together on Star Trek IV, have been chosen to helm the series, with Game of Thrones writer and producer Brian Cogman serving as a consultant. Executive producer Lindsay Weber, 10 Cloverfield Lane, Bruce Richmond, Game of Thrones, Gene Kelly, Boardwalk Empire, and Sharontal Iguado, as well as writers Jennifer Hutchinson, Breaking Bad, Jason Cahill, The Sopranos, and Jason Doble will join the creative team. Stranger Things. Stephanie Folsom, Toy Story 4, will collaborate with Ron Ames and Helen Shong as a consulting producer. Hannibal. According to Variety, Kate Hawley will be the series' costume designer, while Rick Hendricks will act as a production designer and Jason Smith will handle visual effects. The first 2 episodes are directed by a fascinating individual. According to Deadline, the first 2 episodes of the series will be directed by Juan Antonio Bayona. Bayona issued a statement in response to the news, stating, J.R.R. Tolkien created one of the most amazing and inspiring stories of all time, and it is an honor and a thrill to be a longtime fan on this wonderful team. I can't wait to bring audiences all around the world to Middle-earth and expose them to splendors of the Second Age via a never-before-seen story. He directed Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, The Impossible, The Orphanage, and episodes of Penny Dreadful. Peter Jackson will not be present. The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit director stated to French news outlets that he will not be involved in Amazon's future series. Well, that wraps up the end of our show today. We hoped you liked it. Make sure to press the subscribe button on your way out. Thanks for watching.